Hello and welcome back to my neck of the woods. I'm Morning to you, and today I start the original Metroid. I have a bit of a history with this game, never played it on the NES, and it is what sparked an entire genre of games that I love. Emergency order. Defeat the Metroid of the planet Zebeth and destroy the Mother Brain, the mechanical life vein. Galaxy Federal Police, M510. So yes, a bit of a typo there of Zebeth. It's later changed to Zebus, but hey. First game. Never know if it's going to do well, and something that small isn't really too much. So, let's get into the game and I can explain my history with it. Also, you'll notice I have a little controller in the bottom there, showing what actions I take. So, we start off, we have some zoomers, we have a tiny beam. That's pause. We don't have any missiles, we don't have a morph ball. We can jump, shoot, aim up, and not much else. So, my history with this game is very simple. I've only ever played it on Virtual Console and not that far. I always seem to run into a problem and the password system was awful. So, going left we find the Marumari, or as it was later called, the Morph Ball. And we have the zoomer here. Come on. So, there are... I accidentally hit one of the triggers. Playing this on an emulator, if you couldn't tell, and by hitting either of the triggers, I can trigger various actions. So, right trigger speeds up the game, left trigger rewinds. I'll try and not abuse this, as this is the second time I've recorded this. First time wasn't too good, and honestly, I feel pretty bad about it. But, hey, sometimes you have to give something a good attempt before you actually get into the proper work for it. So yes, in playing this game, I found that I have a love-hate relationship with it. Sometimes I love it, other times I kind of wish it was a bit like the older games. And we're causing a bit of chaos because we need the health. So, energy, if I remember, only comes in groupings of 5 and 10. And we need the morph ball to get through this tunnel. Jumping causes this thing, which its name escapes me at this point. Okay, wait for the zoomer to climb up the wall so we can shoot it. One thing I want to do is very quickly get a list of the enemies up. That way then I can make sure I don't get any of the enemies wrong. Right here we have some rippers, or that one bug in space, what looks like a croissant. Yeah. So, in this hallway, we have two ways to go, up and down. And the first game is really open, in all honesty. So, using that knowledge, where's the best way to go? And honestly, it's really up to you. So, in trying to think of this, I have to decide. And yeah, down doesn't go that far, so I accidentally stood on a ripper. So, there's one power-up we need before we can get a lot of our other power-ups. And that's a staple of this game series, being the missile. I'm having so much trouble with this zoomer. Okay. Now we can continue proper. Oh. So if anybody wonders how I'm attacking so fast, this is set up for a SNES controller, and one of the buttons I've assigned has an alternative function. So for me, I'm playing this with an Xbox controller, and I have X and A as shoot, and B and Y as jump. So X allows me to hold it down in rapid fire, faster than I probably should be able to. Like, that's more in line with the original game I played on the proper console. And this is what happens when you give me rapid fire. I'm pretty sure it's going as fast as it possibly can. So, we're ascending this silo, as I chose to call it. We have a couple of these throughout the game, and some of them are interesting. And just saying this, those purple enemies, they're the same as the base enemies, just with different stats. So purple zoomers take more hits than orange zoomers, or whatever color you choose to call that. It's kind of the same as Samus's main color, being the orange. In memory, I think we do want to head through here. I'm mostly going off of memory from when I played and watching somebody more competent than me play this, as I felt bad with the first attempt. So, is this right? I'm terrible without like a map to help me, so I'm very sorry if I start backtracking a lot. I haven't memorized the layout. I will say I'm a bit on edge because when I originally played through this, I had at least one energy tank. Oh. There we go. And yeah, energy seems to come in 5s and 10s, except for one energy, which we'll get to later in the game. Okay. Oh. You went low. I didn't think you would. So, one ground rule, since I have the rewind and fast forward, I'll never fast forward. It honestly is a bit disorienting for me. As for the rewind, I'll only really use it in very specific situations. If the action I'm rewinding from would primarily give me a game over, as I don't want to deal with the password system. And there's going to be no special gimmicks here. Oh. And there's... I've immediately forgot its name. I saw it not too long ago, and now... Come on, you. That would be a Rio. Had to look over to the open tab of enemies. So yes, Rios have a simple strategy, and hey, we got an E-tank. Oh. And by picking up an E-tank, you do fully restore your energy. And that helps. I'm not worried about taking damage until later, where it's going to be a bigger thing. We're in another silo now, and now I have to remember from here. Because we need those missiles. We got ourselves an E-tank, so that increased our survivability. We need missiles to get something I can't live without. Well, I kind of can, but not too much. So we got a Rio and a Zoomer here. Rios generally seem to stick to the ground until you jump. Oh, we got a purple one. Okay. That's done. Ah. Thank you, Rev Fire. You're the main reason I lived through this. Okay. And one thing I'm hoping is... Bam. Oh, and I think I know what power-up's in there. And it would help so much right now. Primarily with survivability. Ah. Jerk. Thanks for your energy. So yeah, that was a bit more than 10, so... I don't really remember the energy amounts. Oh, and you can't damage rippers. Just can't. Yeah, we need the power-up that's in that room to ascend, and most people will have figured out what's in there. Nowhere else to go, really. So we are stuck backtracking as I accidentally went for something I was supposed to head for after getting missiles. So yeah, 2 beam shots takes out a Ripper. Ow. Went a bit too high with my jump there. But hey. Ah! You damn blue and purple. Give me a second as I look up its name to properly curse it and its lineage. Waver. There we are. So yeah. Curse the waivers. Ah! Now. Okay, you are trapped there for all eternity. Suffer in silence. Well, I guess not all eternity, since I'll eventually have to head back. And I'm taking out these weavers quickly to restock energy while I can. Ah! I have so much trouble with these enclosed quarters. There's something we could get there if we had the morph ball bombs. Oh. Okay. That works. Oh, and if you're wondering, the somersault or forward jump, it's a bit harder to control, but generally gets you more mobility. And the standing jump, somehow you have more control, but you don't have as much mobility with it. If that makes any sense. Ah, you jerk. Okay. Be careful when you get stuck in lava. See, at the end of, ow. Jerks. At the end of the first attempt at recording this, I would have rewound time to before I fell into the pit. I mean, there will be points where it's like, I don't have the energy to spare and it's an important jump. Ow. Give it time and I think we can defeat this Ripper. Or not. My memory is hazy on what you need to defeat certain enemies. Generally, everything goes down with a single missile. That's why we need them. Ow. Oh. I'm really missing the ability to angle my shots in certain directions. Okay, we've ascended... I spoke too soon. We've ascended this tower. So now we have this room up here, which, if my memory serves, should be the right way to go, maybe. Okay. We have our standard spawning enemies. Give me a second here. We have Zeb. And they will keep spawning from that pipe until they drop a power-up. Okay, that's a no. We need something that we don't have yet. So yeah, you can generally use that to restore your energy and missiles. I won't bother with that because it can be tedious every now and then.